Hello, my name's Dr. Erica Bowen. I am a reader in the psychology of intimate partner violence here at Coventry University. My interests and job takes me through teaching master's level students, supervising PhD students, and also doing an awful lot of research around predominantly domestic violence and violence in intimate relationships. I've been researching this area for the last 13 years and it formed the focus of my PhD research, which was looking at intervening with male perpetrators who are violent in intimate relationships and trying to evaluate what works to stop them being violent in the future. Since that time, my research interests have grown, always focused on relationship violence, but now I look also at adolescence and more prevention rather than cure, as it were. So my vision is to, I guess, ultimately and perhaps a bit too aspirationally, stop violence in intimate relationships. We know that it has a ridiculous impact on families, society in general, and if nothing else, the economic cost to the country each year is vast. It's currently about £23 billion. So if we can stop violence in intimate relationships, we can have a much broader societal impact and impact on general well-being. In terms of my aspiration for research at Coventry University in this area, we have a number of strands. So we have research, again, looking at implementing interventions for offenders, mostly violent offenders, some domestic violence offenders, some who are violent generally. And typically we try and adopt something called a solution-focused approach. And this is exceptionally novel. It's not really been used. We typically use it with probation services, and again, using those approaches within probation is also very, very novel. All the research that we conduct within this theme has been done with a view to actually changing something about the way that either people behave or that people deal with investigating or dealing with acts of violence. And ultimately, the whole point is to actually have something that does impact on society, either at an individual level, so you might have one person who attends one of the programs that we've developed in probation who then is no longer violent, or who makes a different change in their relationship that impacts on their ability to understand they're being violent and to acknowledge that and perhaps then engage in change. Down to perhaps understanding more about police hostage negotiation, developing the potential to understand how we might screen to recruit potential hostage negotiators and whether or not that's even possible. So what cluster of characteristics that might be that impacts on that. Certainly in terms of the work that we've done with the solution-focused packages, we know that it's changed the way that probation officers engage with offenders. We know that offenders they're called revolving door offenders. They're the ones that come in because they've committed a crime, they get processed, they get supervised, they go back out, they commit another crime, they come back in. And they do this perpetually. And so they're a particularly difficult group of individuals to engage with. But what we know is that the solution-focused packages we've developed target those particularly well, and they are much more likely to engage with anything that probation do with them once they've been exposed to a slightly different approach. And typically what we found is that in terms of people being engaged in the packages and actually completing them, the completion rates have gone up from about 50% to at least 75% across the board.